All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day that you're watching this, honey. I just cut the music short because it's acting up, child. Okay. I am Big Meach, honey, and this here is a Big Meach moment, and I'm coming to you a little lit differently because I think I want the drama of all of this, right? This is looking rather cute, don't you think? In any event, I want to talk on a very serious matter, and I'm going to try not to be before you long. Um, but I do need to go on record with this, okay? I'm recording this on April 3rd, 2024, okay? Uh, and the reason being is because 2 days ago, we had our city council meeting here in the city of College Park, Georgia. Um, and I want to share my my deep disappointment with my city council because there's a couple of things that's going on, and I thought that grace was going to be given. However, when it wasn't, it leads me to ponder. Okay, what really is going on? Okay, now let me set the tone here. Okay, number one, I thoroughly believe, and I am very optimistic about our city council. I really and truly believe that our new babies, Councilwomen Jamel McKenzie and Tracy Arnold, are wonderful additions to the council. I want to go on record as saying that a lot of the heat that they may be receiving is I won't say it's premature. At the same time, it's they are damage, collateral damage. That's what I'm trying to say. They are collateral damage because a lot of the anger that most of the citizens have are with our two veteran council people. That's my councilman, Joe Karn, and Councilman Roderick Gay. A lot of this stems, and you've heard me say this before, from actions that they have taken last year during the last council season and under the last administration with Councilman Ambrose Clay and Councilman Ken Allen on the council. And as the elected officials during that particular administration, there were some things that were going on, and the public seemed to still be upset with them for their actions. Okay, since January 1st, 2024, and this new administration has been sworn in and taken office, a lot of the heat that our new babies are getting is not necessarily warranted 100%. Okay. A lot of it is residue from the election. Folks are still in their feelings because of how the election went. More so with council with Ward One than with Ward Three. A lot of folks are still in their feelings about it, and so now with every action that is taken, everything is up under the microscope. Okay, so now, having said that, I am in full support of this council. Okay, I'm in full support. But being in full support does not mean that we do not keep them uh, at a high standard and to hold them accountable, okay, for actions taken. Now, I will say this too. I also believe in everybody is human, and humans are entitled to make mistakes, even if there's big mistakes. But at the same time of making these mistakes, if you're not doing anything to correct it, or at least to nullify and void the situation from it becoming bigger, then that's where I get into this it's a aching in my craw, and it's like, okay, wait a minute, we've got to do better than what we're doing. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. Okay, what is happening is my disappointment runs so deep. City Council, my disappointment runs entirely so deep. It is a deep cut. When Councilwoman Tracy Arnold asked for a motion to change her vote on the $1.6 million grant. All right. When she asked for that motion to go and no one seconded that motion so that it can fly and y'all can take a vote on it, no one seconded the motion. At least if you had at least seconded the motion so that it could have been given a motion and you voted it down, that would have been another thing. Okay. It, in the same wheelhouse, but it would have been a whole nother aspect of it, right? It would have been different. You guys did not even honor the motion of letting her have her say and letting her change her vote. Okay? That is where my disappointment runs, and it runs deep and it runs thick. And I really do believe that all of you did her a disservice. You all did her a disservice. And here is where it is. This particular administration has been up under the scrutiny that, and I'm going to say this, that because it is an all African American elected board, the scrutiny has been that this is going to be a go along to get along administration. The scrutiny has been that everybody is going to, someone said that in one of the meetings, y'all going to take turns with who's going to be the bad guy for the day. So that way it could still be a 3-1 vote so that the mayor doesn't get an opportunity to speak. That was said by the citizens, okay? Forgetting that the mayor doesn't have a vote unless there's a tie, okay? But all of these perceptions of duplicity and nefarious dealings, and I don't like using the word corruption, but that's the one that everybody want to throw at you guys. Corruption. I want to say duplicitous, okay? Because what it seems as though what we have, and I understand the intentions behind it may be the greatest intentions, because we're looking at garnering money for the city. We're looking at this 1.6 million to do great so that we can offset some of the costs of projects and stuff we need in each particular ward, and we got a surplus of money that we can use versus having to take it from the general fund versus having it being raising taxes or trying to come up with other kinds of fundraisers for this. I get it. I understand it. However, the parts that you guys are failing to hear, and this here is what's driving us into these ethers. Okay. The part that you're failing to hear is that the citizens are saying, do not do this. The citizens are saying, we don't want this. Okay. That's what the citizens, all of your constituents are saying. Well, at least the majority of them. Let me go on record and say this. I am one who was supporting this project. I am one who said, yes, I can see this working. As long as all of the guidelines that we had a professional, Ambrose Clay, councilman, who had put all these stipulations in check and say, yes, make sure all of these things are in place. Once we get this in place, this would be a workable project. I'm still stuck on him saying, if this were in my basement, it's safe enough to where I could put this in my basement and I would have no problem with it. That's what rings in my ears, okay? And this is from someone who speaks the language of technology and energy and all of that this particular project garners, right? My trepidation with this particular deal, number one, we don't have any other people who are the professionals on our team. We've been relying on all of their information, okay? We don't have any other professionals as strong as Ambrose or stronger that's on our team that says, okay, let's look at the data. We don't have anyone else on our team that is pushing for this in the way that will give the citizens um enough leeway to have that moment of silence and not silence, that moment of peace, and are able to exhale and say, okay, we can trust this. Okay, we don't have that. What we have, we got the people who are coming with the project who are doing all of the talking. When you came to and did the town hall meeting, You had the one guy there, John, who was giving us an overview of what it was supposed to be. However, he wasn't one of the experts. You had Next Era there. Why did they not get up and speak to the people? They should have spoken. They're the ones running this project. Okay, they should have spoken. They should have sit up there and gone through and took those hard questions. All right, I'm still on the idea that in support of the project, because a lot of this is based on fear. A lot of this is based on the data of all the horrific things that have happened, and we all know how dangerous it can be. And I still stand on, we have so many gas stations in our area right now. Okay, we here in College Park, just in we are 11 square miles, and I want to say within, I don't think it's a 5 mile radius, we have one, two, three, four, five, uh, six, seven, eight. That's 8 gas stations that I'm looking at right now. That's on Main Street and Godby, and I'm sorry. Yeah, we got one on Godby Road. We got no, technically two on Godby Road. Three. That's the third, three right there at Old National and Godby. We got two right here at Old National just before the freeway. Then I got diesel fuel right here down the street on Sullivan Road. Not to mention the service station, and I believe that's the City of College Park service station that's up the street here on, is it Southport? No, not Southampton. Whatever the name of the street is behind the Coca-Cola plant. Those are all fueling stations, okay, where we have gas and petroleum and carrying on in these neighborhoods. Okay, this is our neighborhood. And I know that when all of these were coming up, in fact, there was the brand new ones that were added since I've been here, we were like, okay, why do we need another gas station? Okay, we all know the dangers of what gasoline does, and we know what the dangers are. And my point is that we're already living in these kinds of conditions, to where if we're talking about, we didn't harp on the fear of folks smoking, folks leaving their car running. We see on the news that people are shooting at these gas stations, can cause anything. We see that, sometimes folks drive into stuff and lose, they have medical emergencies and things of that nature. So the fear mongering that has taken place with this project, and I understand it's not unwarranted or whatever, and I've said this before, but that there is what's the driving factor versus us looking at the whole thing in its entirety. Okay, so that's why I was one to support it, but with the stipulations. At Monday's meeting, Mr. Mose James came up very theatrically. He tickled me, honey, because it was effective. Okay. When he said then used your words against you. Okay. And then going back to look at the metadata, and I think that's something that no one was counting on. I don't think that anyone was counting on someone being able to look at what's going on. And everything that's being outlined, City Council, it is looking as if you guys are trying to hide something, all in the name of saying this is good for the city. Now, I do not personally believe that you guys are in this to pocket money into your personal accounts. I do not believe that. No one is going to make me accept that as an answer. But what I am going to say is, why are we rushing to get this money, this 1.6 million? That's the piece that no one is making make sense. That's the piece when folks are asking questions, everybody gets quiet, everybody is saying this. Even at the council meeting, Madam Chairwoman McKenzie, you were trying to explain the language that the town hall went out, and the city attorney was like, no, there's some legal things that we need to explain, and I wasn't going to get into that right now. So even still, there's some legal stuff that's going on that either we're not privy to yet, and y'all need to say, listen, there's some behind the scenes stuff that we can't get into because it was done in executive session or whatever this is. whatever that is, what we are asking for is the information. We need the information to soothe our minds, let us get very peaceful, and to say, okay, we can trust that you're doing what you're doing. Right now, as it stands, there is no way, and y'all know I champion you guys. I can't champion this anymore. I can't champion this because you are giving all of the naysayers all of the key components that they have been saying about you guys from day one. You're giving them all of the key components to say that this administration is poppycock. You're giving it to them. And I am still here saying there's something more to this. There's something more because it's not on the surface. And yes, as much as most James has done with the videos and splicing this together, it looks a certain way. This looks very bad. This looks horrible. All right? But I keep hearing that, okay, we got this, we got this, we got this, and no one is bringing this forward. Either y'all going to put this project out and give us all of the information in truth, or you guys need to go and reconsider this and take the L, take that L and say, you know what, we tore this up. We tore this up. This is not what you want. Okay, we thought we were going to push this through because we're looking at the bigger picture of wanting to do this for College Park and et cetera, et cetera. Okay? However, something is in the mess. Now, I got conflicting information. On one side, I got that the city of South Fulton was offered these same kinds of concessions and this, that, and the other. All right? And that they're entertaining this. I also get that I'm also understanding that the city of South Fulton is supposed to be the ones who greenlight the project because they got to do their part for the project. We are responsible for the rezoning because the land is ours. But because the jurisdiction is in South Fulton, they have to greenlight the project. Now, that's been my thought. I'm now told, no, all of this is on us. All of this is on us because this is our land. And that the city of South Fulton has contacted us, our people, via emails, via this, via that, saying that please don't do this because my citizens don't want it. And we seem as though we are ignoring our neighbors. My question is, why? What is the rush? Why are we ushering this through as if there's no time, as if time is of the essence on your part? What is it that we're not understanding? That's the part that we need to get. And if it's too complicated to explain, then perhaps that means that this is not the right project. Perhaps that means that we need to look at something else. Perhaps this is what that means. Okay. And I'm sitting up here now. I want to go right by that particular piece of land because I need to see it. I don't know what it looks like. But if we got that kind of space that can house this kind of project, how come we are not looking at that for affordable housing and carrying on since nobody seems to want it in their neighborhoods? Now, how about that? I ain't going to go on that. That's a whole different subject. Okay. But if that land is that kind of land and it's already in residential space and everybody's complaining that this is going to take effect for the residents, then how come we not just scrap this project and find we have builders that came to buy during my term that's looking for land to build affordable homes? How come we're not looking at that? I'm just perplexed with that. I'm so perplexed with that. And I had to call that out because babies, listen, I don't like how this is looking. I do not like how this is looking. And quite frankly, everyone knows that I have a personal relationship with Councilman McKenzie. Everyone knows that Councilman Joe Karn is my councilman. Now, we don't have the best of relationships, but we are very amicable. Everyone knows that Tracy Arnold and I are developing relationships. I love her like a sister, and everyone knows that that Councilman Gay and I have a contemptuous relationship. However, we are able to be very amicable, and we know how to listen to one another when we can sit down and talk, and appreciate one another. Once we get an understanding with each other, we're able to do that. Okay. So if we all know that, and then let me say this about the mayor. The mayor and I, our relationship is strained because we're still trying to build one. Coming through the campaign trail or whatever, it has been. Oh, not yet. I'm sorry, my phone is ringing. Uh, Hold on, y'all leave me a message, honey. Um, um, our relationship seems is a little strained, especially after coming off of the mayoral campaign or whatever. Um, I would like to establish something further, but I don't know if that's something that she wants because she becomes very standoffish with me at times, and I'm going to take it as protection because she really don't know me. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. I'm not tripping on that. It's just that we could do better with having a better relationship. Okay, and that's on both of our parts. And I'm gonna take my own responsibility in that. That's on both of our parts. All right. Um. So having said all that, this particular thing disturbs me because I do not want to have any thoughts or anything that uh this is beyond just a misstep and a miscalculation. I refuse to believe that this is any kind of corruption. I would say duplicitous because it has the ring that this is deceiving. All right, with everything that came out that Mose has done, with the metadata, and I don't think anybody was expecting anybody to do that kind of research. The metadata, and I see that's going to be the new word now, metadata. Okay, even Mayor says that Mr. James is not the only one who knows how to collect and work with the metadata. Okay, which I'm going to get into that in just a second. Um, so with that, now that we're able to cross reference and get into some things, honey, we need to look at this. We need to look at this. And again, I'm going to implore all of you, take the L. Take the L. Take the L, baby. Because right now, this is political suicide. We have an election coming up next year for wards 2 and 4. Councilman Gay and Councilman Karn. Yes. Okay. So by 2026, we'll have a brand new council anyway if they get voted out. Okay. So now what are we looking at? Okay. What are we looking at? And here's something. Let me throw this in the mix too. We rally for you to be the mayor pro tem, Councilman Gay. And your pro tem status got you looking like you are doing whatever because you reintroduced this motion or whatever. You reintroduced it. Now we're here, okay, and it seems as though this is going along with your character that folks know you to do. We're trying to backdoor something in, and this is you as the pro tem. All right. Now I'm one who championed you to be the mayor pro tem because I said at least put the man up in there. He is the elected official. He needs to know what's going on, and we need to see how he's going to work. You have been very kind. You have not been on those ridiculous rants until recently. Okay, that you like to get on. You have been very very amicable behind the desk, and you have been calm like I said, up until recently. But now with this particular move, no, this is not, this here is only saying to your character, okay, that the people have perceived you to be in all the time that you have been in that seat. Okay. I'm thoroughly disappointed that you guys did not give Councilwoman Arnold the opportunity to change her vote. That was wrong. That was wrong in every sense of the word, in every language that you can fathom. Wrong. That was wrong. And like I said, you could have at least accepted the motion and let it go to a vote. If y'all had at least done that, it wouldn't be as bad as it is. But that there just completely nailed whatever left of the coffin that was up. That just nailed the coffin completely shut on this deal. It nailed it shut. It nailed it. Okay? And I'm thoroughly disappointed. Thoroughly disappointed. Because, of course, the rumors have it. Now, I don't know what's true or what's not. The rumors have it that she reached out to everyone, and everyone was saying, listen, I want to change my vote. And then everyone had a story. If it wasn't, oh, there's nothing we can do about it. If it wasn't, oh, honey, you got to take one for the team because you got to know how this works. Whatever that is, I'm just saying what the grapevine is saying. I don't know what's true and what's not, but it was a damn shame that she had to go into her report and release a statement that says that she was not given all of the facts surrounding the project prior to making her vote, and that she wants to go on record that she wants to change her vote and was not given the opportunity. That doesn't look good at all. That does not look good at all. Not at all. At all. Okay? Now, I'm going to play something. It's kind of long, but I wanted to play this in its entirety. I need for you to hear this, because this where my disappointment turned into anger. Before I play this, let me do one more step. And this has been said too, but I'm going to go to my councilman here, Councilman Joe Karn. Now, it has been said in the documentation that that Mr. James has done. You voted no for the project, but you're saying yes to the grant. Okay. However, you are so silent about this, it is crazy. You are not saying why you voted no. You have not put that out there for the public to sit down and to ascertain, to hear where you are. You haven't even said why the grant money is important. If you don't want the project, why are you accepting their money? That there is where folks are hollering corruption, because they're like, okay, what are we doing here? And why have you not supported Councilwoman Arnold if you said no and she wanted to change her vote to no? Does that mean that would have given it a tie and then Mayor would have had to vote? Is that what that means? Because if that's what that means, you see what I'm saying? When I'm saying y'all are giving the naysayers the ammunition to blow y'all the hell up? If that's what that means, boom. How can I be out here trying to defend and say that I'm optimistic about a council, and y'all are giving the naysayers all of the damn tools to blow you to bits? This is not what's making sense. And we want to make sure that we are doing the right thing. Right. The right thing. And what I don't want this to become is that you guys trying to act as if you know better than what we want. That is not going to happen in this day and age. Okay? If the citizen says this, whether you agree with it or not, because you too are a citizen. Now, let's go there. You too are a citizen of this city. But you are the proxy. You are the representative of your ward. Okay? So if your constituents are saying this, and we're doing the democratic process of majority rules, then regardless of what your personal feelings are, you have to stand in alignment with the citizens and put that on record. I personally believe in this project. However, due to the outpouring of what my constituents are saying. I have to stand with my constituents and say, I vote one way, whatever they're saying. In this case, the constituents are saying no to this rezoning. And Councilman Carn, what you have done there said that you're talking out of both sides of your mouth right there. How are you going to say no? And then when Councilwoman Arnold wants to change her vote to no, you don't support her. That ain't making sense. That ain't making sense. That ain't making sense. That's not making any sense. That's not making sense. That's not making sense. And do you see how you gave that's another nugget going over there to the duplicitous file. That's another nugget going over there into okay, pretty soon the balance is gonna be way up. Duplicity is gonna be up here. Or truth, and all the weight gonna be here. Boom. Weighing it down. Truth is gonna be way up here. Here? That's not making sense. But here is where my disappointment turned into anger, because I was there to see this in real time. And when I saw this right here speaks volumes to everyone. And there's a point in here that I want to talk about on the other side of this, because I don't believe that the mayor had the right to do this. I need to check the charter, because from what I'm understanding, no one is supposed to go directly to department heads or whatever to ask of anything. They're supposed to go through the city manager. But let me play this, and I'll come to you on the other side. All right. And we are back. I just put a zinc messenger in, so if I'm smacking, please forgive me. All right. Now, y'all heard that diatribe, okay? I am thoroughly, thoroughly pissed at this exchange. What is the problem with answering that question? Because all of that deflecting did nothing but add more fuel to this corruption, duplicitous fire. It's getting on my nerves. I'm trying to talk. All of that, all of those histrionics right there were unnecessary. And it goes to show that, okay, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Now, I don't know what y'all did to get ready for this particular council meeting, but I know that everybody got telephones, everybody got text messaging and carrying on. I see everybody up there texting and carrying on throughout the meeting. Why in the hell didn't y'all tell him to shut his mouth or at least answer the damn question? Yeah, I'm hot. I'm so hot. I am so hot because all of that, and then you wanted to get very brazen, and now you want to challenge the mayor, and then you want to call that this is harassment, Dr. Adadarin. Harassment because she's asking you a question that you are refusing to answer. If you had said in answer, it was hand delivered from a messenger. By whom? You could have gave a name. Who are you in correspondence with? You said I gave you the letter. Well, then who was the letter from? Because listen, y'all have to understand, and as I'm hearing this, and let me be transparent, the term metadata and carrying on, I want to research how to get into it. See, now I want to look at how things are created, when they are created. So I'm sure there's like the IP address and carrying on and who sent it to where. You know what I'm saying? Follow the trail, because that's why we have IP addresses on your phone, on your computers, and carrying on. That's how they're able to track you from your IP address. So if that's the case, then it's going to be telltale signs of how this stuff came in, when it came in. All right, now they've gotten to the point where they could pinpoint the time that it was created. Now I'm fishy about that. I don't know about the time that it was created. Maybe the time it was received, perhaps. I don't know about the time that I'm sitting up there actually created the document. Now that there was kind of sketchy to me. But at the same time, they're able to track it now. So all of this back and forth that we're doing, city council and city manager, this is why we're having a difficult time. And we keep saying, come clean. Everybody's running on transparency. We done all said it. We've all said that in this campaign election and this, that, and the other. And I'm going to keep saying, transparency should never be damage control. If I'm out and open in the first place, I have nothing to go back to correct. This is the frustration. This is the anger. This is why words like recall is coming up, which I don't believe. Listen, I do not believe that y'all want to recall Jamel, y'all want to recall Trey. I don't believe that y'all do. Well, let me take that back. Y'all do want to get Jamel out of there because y'all still mad that Karen did not win. Okay? For whatever reasons, you're still mad about that. And okay, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But at the same time, we have to allow folks to be human. That's what I'm saying. Take the L on this one. Come back, say, listen, all right, you twisted our arms. We heard you. We shouldn't have ignored you from the jump. We thought we were doing the right thing by trying to chase down this money because we need this money for other things. You keep saying that you want us to do something. We're trying to make a difference. But okay, this project was not the project. We're going to take the L. Let y'all razzle dazzle us because you know once you take this L, then of course they're going to talk about you like a dog for about another 90 days. And then you know when you do something else wrong, they're going to bring this back up, okay? Take the L and move on. Because right now, what folks are hearing is that you ignoring me because you want to do you. And I swear my core said that that's not what this is. My core says that y'all thought that this was a grand opportunity to get this little coin because y'all trying to do something to have money in the surplus for the city. But honeys, like the one woman said, if they're offering 1.6 million, okay, when they should have been offering more than that. In fact, I think Ambrose said that once. I think Joe Carr said that once, that it's not enough money. Yes, we took $50,000. They gave us $50,000, what, in 2023 for College Park Elementary. That was cute little, kind in gesture money, you know. But listen, this is just like trying to go to the NFL or when colleges are trying to draft that star player. Everybody coming out of the woodwork so that they can get you to sign a contract. Everybody's showing you all of the good stuff. No one is asking what protocols are in place. We did not take into consideration. And listen, if everything that Moses said is true, that the letter that Ambrose Clay wrote and said that if you read the document, it does not include my regulations, that my suggestion for the regulations in order to be safe. If that's true, then I'm not with this project at all. If that is true, I will not stand by that project because I said I stood by it because we had a professional who speak the language that said it works if these things are in place. And like I said, I keep hearing it in my ear, with these things in place, it would be safe enough to put in my basement. When he said that, I'm like, wow. Because he took the fear out of it, all of the whoosies and carrying on. He was able to give us a professional opinion on something that dangerous. Because we talk about batteries. Like if you missed it before, I'll say it here. We all have that. We just have it on a lower scale. Neighborhoods have lithium ion batteries because of how we do our phones and our computers. And we got radiation with the microwaves. Everybody have at least 4 or 5 phones and a computer and PlayStations or whatever that require lithium ion batteries now. So we're already this battery concentration on a low scale. If you put all that together in the neighborhood, we can be that grid. So we're already doing it loosely with all of the regulations and stuff that we know and all the stuff. How you didn't heard them say, don't talk on your phone with it charging. But we do it anyway, don't we? We know when the phone run hot, we got to put the damn thing down because it can cause a fire. We know this, but yet we do it anyway, don't we? So because of that, I'm like, okay, we can do this as long as those stipulations were in place. But if anything about that letter is true, and those things are not in place, and you guys are not doing the due diligence and all of the research to say this is this, then what's the rush? How come we just sit down there and say this, and this? We got to do that. We've got to, and then who's our attorney on this? Did the city attorney look at this document to make sure that it was in compliance? I know with body we always had to make sure whatever's in the contract that the attorney go over to make sure that the language is correct. Did we do that? I know we haven't signed the contract yet, or did we? Is that why the rush? Because there's the ink got to dry. The ink haven't dried yet, or y'all trying to get the ink to? What is this? See, we got too many speculations, and I don't want to speculate. You guys are too intelligent of people to have us be played like this. You understand? This is too important to go down like this from everybody who are, y'all are very bright people. Very bright. And y'all know what this has the propensity of doing. So in that, city manager, I'm calling you out. Oh, yes, the hell I am. Yes, I am. Because that display I won't, yeah, I'm gonna say ignorance. That display of ignorance right there was ridiculously beneath the caliber of man that I thought you are. Okay, that was ridiculous. And for you to go public like that the way that you did, when you could have said, "Can we table it?" You could have, somebody could have called for a recess or something. They could have said, "Wait a minute, let's take a recess because this is getting hot." And it took her or said, "Can we talk privately or whatever? Because I don't want to go public with this. I'll speak with you later." You could have done something to where they didn't have to get ugly like that. No, sir, I'm calling you out because they didn't have to do that. That did not have to do that. You understand? I'm calling you out. Council, I'm calling all of y'all out because y'all didn't have to lead Tracy Arnold like that, and y'all did not know. Mm-mm. Not when she's sitting up there saying, "Okay, wait a minute," and she's doing the, "Okay, I told this up. I didn't have all the information. Let me change my vote because this ain't right now. We got facts there that no, this ain't doing." Y'all threw her up under the bus, and y'all made her seem as though she's supposed to go along to get along. What everybody has been saying from day one that this council was going to be, and that's unfair. Jamel, you taking heat that's coming up on Joe and Roderick. But at the same time, sister, baby, I need for you to really look at this. I need for you to look at this. And I know your heart is, this could do wonders for the community. But I need for you to reevaluate that. I need for you to reevaluate that and look at that contract, because if what they are saying, and you're the one who spoke with Ambrose directly, and from predecessor to successor about this deal, if what Ambrose wrote and said that looking at this, they did not put my measures in place, then the question becomes, how did you miss that? Because that there is what all of us were fighting on. Those of us who believed in the project is what he said. Remember, if we go back, what's the young man's name? He came up last night and spoke. He was the last one to speak last night. I can't think of his name. He said, the one who says, we're your grandparents and we're your parents and this, that, and that. He said he had COPD. He said at the last town hall, he said, if it requires all of this to make this right, then maybe we ought not do it. Now, that was his thing. My whole thing was, if it requires all that, then that means the safety measures are in place to make sure that it would be safe. You know what I'm saying? The money issue, if we are saying that, the fire chief said that we don't have the manpower, we need 2 more trucks and 8 more officers, okay, firefighters. They know that. They got trillions of billions, at least billions of dollars. How come that's not the money that they offered us to make sure that we got the safety parameters in place? What about insurance? See, those kind of questions are what's needed to be asked and answered. So that's where we are with this. Y'all threw Tracy under the bus, and I'm deeply, deeply disappointed about that. I'm deeply disappointed about that, because now the question becomes, what is the deal? What is the real deal about this project that has everyone so hell-bent on making sure that it goes forward? Give us that information so that we can see where you are. Because right now we don't see where you are. We only hear that you are ignoring the people. And if you are ignoring the people, honey, that there is never good for anybody, because that means you're going to break trust. You're going to break the trust. And for those of you who didn't have the trust from day one, this is going to be a long uphill battle. And now they're throwing out the word recall prematurely, I say. That's premature, and that's anger talking. Okay? Because as far as I'm concerned, it's this deal and it's the Stanley Hawthorne fiasco that says, oh, okay, no. All right? Because the Stanley Hawthorne goes with the omnibus, so all that's together. Okay? So because of that, that there does not necessarily warrant a recall for me. It says on the job training. It says I'm learning the job and I'm trying to make sure that, we get stuff in place. I'm going to make some mistakes along the way because I'm trying to understand the policies and this, that, and the other. But at the same time, they're throwing that word out there. And it's all emotional. It's all emotional. But they're throwing that word out there because you are not giving the people the idea that trust is there. If you break the trust, then innuendo and accusations and stuff will run free. City council, city manager, I'm asking you to do right by this. And Madam Mayor, I would give you my kudos publicly. You ain't got nothing to do with this one. You have been one who said no from the jump. You've been consistent, and now you have been calling out truth to power. All of your boisterous voice, I'm saying that like that because y'all know what I said at the meeting. You ain't silenced, sister. So stop playing that card. You ain't silenced. All of what you've done has been to expose that something ain't right about this. Either they're not doing it right, or there's some misinformation or something. Whatever that is that has everybody upset and can get Dr. I'm tearing his name, Aladaria. I'm tearing his name up. I'm sorry. To get him to cut up the way that he did, by not answering the question about by whom delivered the mail. If we could cut up like that, yeah, something's wrong with this deal somewhere. And that is where it is. And I'm going to go to the city attorney, because whatever legal notes that need to be done, then that need to come public. All this secret talk and, stop tabling everything to executive session and then not giving us the information when you come out that you're able to give. Because right now the citizens have nothing. Okay? And that there is that. City council, my disappointment runs deep. But it's not that it can't be corrected. You guys could come up out of this, and you come up out of this smelling, you can still smell cute. Okay? You don't have to be completely in the rubbish for this. But if you stay sitting in the manure too long, honey, the manure stops smelling. Okay? If you sit in that fertilizer a little bit too long, the fertilizer will stop smelling. Okay? Something ain't right. Something rotten in the cotton, children. Something is rotten in the cotton. And we need to get to the bottom of that. And if you can't explain it to us to make it make sense, to where you could get us to change our minds, no, I'm gonna have to be on that, because if that's true, that those stipulations that Councilman Clay had advised, if that's not in this deal, then no, I'm not behind it. Then no, I am not behind it, because I've said it already. I'm talking in circles now. So no, let's get this together. If you can't explain it to where we can say yay, then you need to drop this project and listen to the people. Listen to the people, honey. Listen to the people. Because now, what I say during the campaign run, honey, I can't tell your story, but I can amplify the hell out of it. So now I'm amplifying the people's voices. The people said no. The people said no. The people said no. We don't want the 1.6 million. We don't want the project or whatever. No, we can get money elsewhere. Let's look at other avenues. And I think that's what we need to say to y'all. Let's look at other projects. Because right now we just throwing y'all up under the bus for this. Let's look at other projects to benefit the city. This one is not the right one. Let's say it that way so that we can stop being accusatory. Let's look at other projects, people. We don't have to rush to we don't have to get the dangling carrot because we're not desperate. We are not desperate like that. 1.6 million, hell, for those of y'all who know, now I've never seen $1.6 million in cash. However, we know that when we talk of city government and carrying on $1.6 million is not really nothing. That's somebody's house. Somebody just paid that over on Rugby or close to it. That's a house. So that's what we giving this up for. That's what we doing all this for. So somebody could buy a house on Rugby Road, Rugby Avenue. Huh? Is that what this is for? I'm gonna let y'all ponder on that. But I'm thoroughly disappointed with what the city council did at this last meeting. Okay? Now let's do better because I know that we can. I believe that we can. I know we can. I know we can. Right now, we're just trying to get through these bumps and these hurdles because we really want the city to grow. We want this coin, but we got to do it in a way that's going to make sense. Okay? And if the people are saying no, baby, come on now. Come on. All of y'all. All of you. And Joe, you said no, but you said yes to the coin, which is saying what? Which is saying what? You're talking on both sides of your neck. You can't say no to the project and then yes to the coin, because that means you got them in your back pocket for something else down the line, right? Or that would be the logical thought process, right? Which says what? Folks will start saying, oh, that's corrupt. That's duplicitous. That's deceitful. That's unscrupulous. That's unethical. See, all those words start to come into play when we do that. We could do better. We're better than this, and I know that we are because I know that we are. I know it. I know it. Let's let the egos go. Let the egos go. Okay? Let it go. Take that L, baby. Come back to the citizens and say, you know what? We toe this up. We toe it up, babies. We toe it up. We toe it up. So now let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do this the right way. The same way how the the what we call the lobbyists, when they went down there and toe up the doggone bill for the senior homestead taxes exempt thing, when they tore that up and didn't do right, and they had to come back and tell us we tore it up, and then we like, how do you tear something up when you supposed to do? We hired you to do a job, and you tore it up. How? How? Child, I got to go. This is Big Meach, honey, and we'll talk later. Ciao. Hello.